How do Finn fans? Welcome to the next edition of A Dolphin Across the Pond. Thanks for joining me. How are we feeling on this one? Well, a little bit more positive. Got a win under our belt finally. It's about time. I did say on 2 videos ago, I did think that the Dolphins could win the next 3 games. First one's done. Now we've got to win our next game and it'll be away from home, so we're at the Panthers. Not going to be easy, but I don't think any games are going to be easy this season. I don't think Dolphins are going to be blowing anyone away this season. Maybe a bit later in the season if they get it together, but right now, just need a few wins. So I think we can as well. So how are you feeling about it? Do you reckon we can? You can put your comments a bit later on when you've first seen the video. So, where's this one going to be won and lost? Well, Miami have been doing okay offensively. We're getting somewhere back to how we were a couple of seasons ago, maybe. Started to score again after the disastrous first week. We're sort of averaging 25 points-ish a game in the last 3. It's not too bad. So on that score, it's a positive. Still look very shaky on the defence. I still think it looks like we're going to concede every time we give the ball away. And the last game also, we had the injury to Tyreek, which now we know is put him out for the rest of the season. Even going into next season, apparently it might still not be fit for then. And there's been talk of this could have been his last game for the Dolphins. I don't know how you feel about that. If it is, I'd be quite sad about it. I like Tyreek Hill. I think he's a good player. I think he's been a really good player for the Dolphins. Not everyone seems to think that, but that might be a conversation, I think, for possibly the postseason. Once we're done and dusted, we can talk about Tyreek and where he's going and what he's doing. But I personally hope we do see the Dolphins jersey again. But on to Sunday's game, so tomorrow night against the Carolina Panthers. So it probably is a 50-50. They're 1-3, we're 1-3. I've been looking around a couple of sites and just seeing what other fans are thinking about the game. I think a close call is pretty much it. One of the other YouTube channels that I've been in conversation with, NFL UK Ops. He's a great guy. He's UK based as well. He's a Patriots fan. But what he does is he puts his predictions up for every game each week. For this Sunday, the Dolphins game, he's predicted, I've got it underneath here, that's why I keep looking down, apologies, 26-23 to the Panthers. Now I've said on the channel, I think it'll be 28-21, that's what I think. I said I think they'll win by touchdown, Dolphins. But we'll see on that. But if you haven't been over to his channel, take a look. It's a really well put together YouTube channel, well worth a watch. He also reviews and watches the Patriots game, does a commentary as it goes. In fact, the first thing I had to sit and watch was him commentating on the kickoff return in the Dolphins game, which I wasn't very happy about. But honestly, check it out. It's a great channel. So what I've done, I've just put a few stats together. That's what I was doing this morning. And I've got them on a little sheet underneath the camera, so if my eyes keep looking down, apologies, but I can't remember, I'm not Rain Man. So, on the offense, so far, points scored, most of these are really quite close, which just, I think, confirms that this Sunday is going to be a close run thing. Points scored, the Dolphins have got 83 against the Panthers 75. And so you have to bear in mind that first game for the Dolphins was horrendous. Everything was a nightmare. So actually, the last 3 games, the Dolphins have been averaging about 25 points a game. And the last time out, the Patriots tonked the Panthers 42-13. So that's a good plus for us, I think. Offensive yards, this goes in favour of the Panthers. They've got 1,310 and the Dolphins 11-4-5. So a couple of 100 yards there. Again, I think the first game of the season just did for Miami on that one. Touchdown scored very similar, 10 to the Dolphins, 11 to the Panthers. Now talking about touchdowns and the offense, we've lost Tyreek, as we've said. I think Jalen Waddle will step up. I really do. I think it's time for him. And I think Tyreek's injury could just make him sort of go to that next level. We'll see, but I think he could do. And the tight end that Miami got in last Sunday scored 2 touchdowns. Darren Waller come out of retirement, 3 receptions, 2 touchdowns. What a start to his Miami career. Now, tight ends are one of those positions, aren't they, that they're quite important, they're quite crucial, because they just give the offense something totally different. And I'm not going to compare him, but the obvious one is Travis Kelce at the Chiefs. If you look at what you take him out of that team, would they have won the Super Bowls that they have? Would they have got to the championship games? Would they have won all these games that they have? They'd have won a lot because they're a damn fine team. But you take Travis Kelce out of that team, it takes a lot of touchdowns out of that team. So hopefully, him coming in will give us a different dimension on the offense. I'd like to think so anyway. So that's a real plus as well. So, okay, it was his first game, but that's a really positive start. On the defense, now Miami have sacked their opposition quarterbacks 8 times. That's not too bad. Whereas the Panthers have only had 2. So that's a real positive for the Dolphins as well, and something to look at. Interceptions, 2 has thrown 4, none in the last game. Bryce Young has thrown 3, so he's not quite so bad as Tua. But I did speak in the last game, after the last game as well, about turnovers, and Miami didn't have any in the last game, and that could be a difference as well. Turnovers and penalties, as I've said, they're so important. They just kill you, and they've really killed Miami this season. They've had a nightmare with them, particularly the turnovers. So I don't think it's any coincidence. The last game, they won it and they didn't have any turnovers. So I think most of the stats are really quite close, which would point to this one being a tight game. I think the Dolphins will shade it. 28-21 is my prediction. I think the offense is going to continue to do pretty well. It'll be interesting to see who does score, who steps up. But the defense, that's where it's going to be important. Miami had some really good plays in the last game, some really important turnovers, right from the first drive against the Jets. So that could be where it's won and lost. So 28-21 is where I think Dolphins victory, 2-3, and then we'll talk about maybe going to 3-3. But let's get this one out of the way first. So if you've liked the video, click the like button. If you liked it and if you want to subscribe and you haven't subscribed yet, please click subscribe. All helps building my little community. I'm really hoping you're enjoying watching the videos. I'm enjoying doing them, and hopefully the content's going to get bigger and better. I'm still finding my way around, really. It's very early days, but I appreciate the comments that I've had so far. Speaking of which, drop your comments in as well, your predictions, what do you think it's going to be, and we'll talk in the next one. Let's go Dolphins.